in case I wasn't clear, Trump and everybody in his White House can kiss my ass.
Yep, the DMB just said F you to DJT, and that right there is just a teaser of what Dave from the Dave Matthews Band just said about Donald John Trump in front of a sold-out crowd in California, and I've got the whole clip to play for you, one that no other media outlet has played yet. And I cannot tell you how proud I am that so many rock stars that I have looked up to for years are lending their voices to the resistance, and unlike so many others that have bent the knee, they will not be silenced. So hit subscribe to Really American Media and wave your lighters in the air, or nowadays, wave your cell phones in the air, because it's time for some concert vibes. And like I said, so many business leaders have bent a knee to King Trump, like Bezos, Zuckerberg, and Tim Cook, just to name a few. But the artists of America have been pushing back with actual art pieces like these ones that have been showing up all over America. But we've also seen several rockers that I have nothing but respect for use their platforms to literally speak truth to power, like Bruce Springsteen, for example.
The America that I love, the America that I've sung to you about, that has been a beacon of hope and liberty for 250 years, is currently in the hands of a corrupt, incompetent, and treasonous administration.
Yeah, Trump hates it when the cool kids like rock stars speak out against him. And whether it's Taylor Swift or Bruce right there, the public temper tantrums are very predictable because a narcissist just can't control themselves. Yeah, looking at you, Donnie. And after Bruce made those comments and Trump predictably lashed out, another one of my musical heroes added his voice to the cause, the living legend, Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam.
You know, when a hero like Bruce Springsteen brings up issues and makes his thoughts be known, and uses his microphone to speak for those who don't have a voice sometimes, he brought up that residents are being removed off America's streets and being deported without due process of law. That's happening. He brought up that we're abandoning our longtime allies around the globe and signing on with dictators. That is also happening. And thinking that they're defunding American universities that won't bow down to their ideologies, as Bruce said. The response to all that, and him using the microphone, the response had nothing to do with the issues. All that we heard were personal attacks and threats that nobody else should even try to use their microphone or use their voice in public, or they will be shut down. Now that is not allowed in this country that we call America. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, preach on, Eddie. Preach on, brother. You know, I lived in Seattle for 10 years, and obviously those guys are icons there. But there's another resident of Jet City fighting the good fight, and yeah, it's one Mr. Dave Matthews. The DMB is wrapping up their summer tour right now, heading up the West Coast. Fun fact, I'm going to see Dave tonight, and I could not be more excited. But a few days ago, Dave and company were south of me in Los Angeles, a city that was under siege by Trump when the protests broke out a couple of months ago over the ICE raids, and Trump broke every norm there is and sent in the National Guard, effectively taking over the city. So Dave had some kind words for LA and some very harsh words for our dictator-in-chief. So here's the full clip recorded by a fan and just posted online, debuting here exclusively.
Thank you all so much for looking after your neighbors and your neighborhoods, and because there's a lot of terrible stuff coming out of Washington, D.C. And a lot of it's happening to the good people of Washington, D.C., but I know you guys have received a lot of this real bad energy here in violence and corruption that's coming at you from DC, and I just feel grateful that you all stood up and said, you know, get out of here. And because the threat to us is the threat, for me, the threat to what we care about in this country, to knowledge and to art and to education and to the future. All those things are the last things on the mind of the people in the White House. Because I think that greed and cruelty are forms of stupidity. And they got it in mountains. They got it in mountains there. And I just want to say thank you to everybody here for standing up against that, you know. Thank you. Just in case I wasn't clear, Trump and everybody in his White House can kiss my ass.
I absolutely love it, and he is, of course, spot on. And here's something a lot of people don't know. Dave spent a good chunk of his childhood growing up in South Africa. He has seen oppression and racism up close and has, of course, toured the world for years and is one of the top-grossing concert acts on the planet. He sells out everywhere he goes, so he speaks from the wisdom of experience and firsthand knowledge. And what he said right there is so true and is worth repeating.
Because I think that greed and cruelty are forms of stupidity, and they got it in mountains. They got it in mountains there.
Yes, they do. And the sad part is Trump World is proud of their greed and cruelty, which is why this part of the monologue is also worth repeating.
Trump and everybody in his White House can kiss my ass.
Yep, kiss my ass and then spin me around and suck my... Well, hold on, I'll keep it PG-13, but you see where I'm going with this. And a lot of Dave's fans agreed with that rant and showed him some love online in return. But even in the land of the DMB, there are some haters, like this dude that said, just play music, which is what MAGA always says when a musician or actor speaks up, as if what any of us do for a living means we don't have freedom of speech anymore. So to that guy, I have just one thing to say. Actually, no, I have two things to say. Hey, let's talk about Brian here, who said in part, can't believe Dave is that out of touch. I guess he's not listening to the majority of Americans. Which Trump has said too, and his sheep keep repeating it. Which means, everybody, it's time for another math lesson. Just to be clear, the majority of Americans voted for somebody not named Trump. Do not fall for this gaslighting trick. Majority means more than 50%. Specifically, you've got to have 50.1% or more to have a majority. In the last election, Trump got 49.8% of the popular vote. And I know, MAGA, you're not good with facts, so take my word for it. 49.8 is less than 50.1. Sorry to burst your bubble, but the majority of Americans did not vote for Trump. And I'm sorry that the musicians you love hate the dictator that you voted for.
Bibi Netanyahu nominated Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. That's just straight crazy. Something's... I thought somebody was pulling a fast one on me. That's I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna shut the fuck up now because genocide and kidnapping ain't the kind of things most Peace Prize winners are into, you know, that kind of shit is crazy.
So yeah, keep on rocking in the free world while it's still free, because unfortunately, that freedom is no longer free, so keep fighting for it. Like this video, comment below, and get vocal. Channel your inner rock star. From the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve podcast, I'm Steve Harness for Really American Media.